Hello, everybody. It's Kevin and Kev's Daily Vibe, or Kev's Spiritual Daily Vibe, however you want to look at it. I'm happy you're here. Actually, I'm recording this and I'm going to upload it after I have finished. I actually started this live this morning earlier and had some technical difficulties with audio visual. And then Emma Grace, my lovely Great Dane, who I've been bringing up here to hang out, she gets restless, and so she paced the room, and so we sort of had all these interruptions. And I went with the theme this morning that came to me, perfection unfolding. And I felt like that was a good jumping off point to start with how most of us look for perfection in everything, strive for perfection. It sometimes holds us back. We won't do something till it's already perfect. We want things to be perfect. So it seems that we have this intention of perfection, and then it gets a bit cattywampus and goes all over the place when we try to look for more of it. And I'm sure some of you have had that experience where you've wanted to something you're creating, something you're planning, something you're doing to be absolutely perfect for some kind of expectation, for some kind of high note, for some sort of thing you're chasing. What I believe is that we are all perfection unfolding. We're already perfect as we are. The challenge is somebody told us we weren't and we believed it. Or we saw something that we felt was more perfect and we wanted to either have it or even to be it. Oftentimes we can be inspired by folks, right? There's nothing wrong with being inspired by someone. They inspire you to do something better. They inspire you to form a new habit. The difficulty and the challenge and that awkward little turn in the road, as I call it, is when we compare ourselves to it. Comparison is the thief of joy. When you move away from knowing that you're already perfect, knowing that you're already powerful, and discovering and scratching the surface of where does that reside, where does it live, where is it? When you're not looking down that avenue, through that lens, picking up that window, I shouldn't say you, I don't know you, or when I haven't done it, that's better. I realize that it becomes a bit of a competition. And there again, competition certainly healthy if it keeps the game nice and fresh, if it keeps the desire to want to improve upon things, be better. I'm a big one for feedback. Thankfully, I have been able to gather some experience in what that feedback process is. You know, companies in the last 2 or 3 years have become to rely upon reviews, right? Let's read all the reviews, and you get an average. Well, nobody is average. We're ordinary, but we're not really average. And you might get a review that wasn't particularly complimentary, loaded with judgment. So you have to decide, well, was this person just angry and took it out on whatever issue happened, didn't happen? So there again, we have to go through and sort through this idea of looking to do business with, buy something, have an experience of, whatever that is. We're reading a review. Usually it's something we want to buy to see what other people think of it. And some of the things we do get might not be perfect, might not be. What is that? Was perfection the part where, okay, yeah, well, we realized that this didn't work. That's fine. If something doesn't work, doesn't mean it wasn't perfect. It just didn't work. And lots of times, seeking perfection is about what we're missing, what we do not have, what we have not got, what we're looking to fill in. And that's chasing a ghost, because perfection, the ability to do things powerfully, is in every single person. Every construct, concept, piece of anything we've ever wanted to do has been with us all along. We've had this power that we've been harnessing since we arrived in this human form. I believe, I'm not expecting you to believe it, but I believe this. And how it showed up for me when I was in my 20s, newly in this country, working in South Florida, I would think of a client and within hours they would call to make an appointment. And after this happened more and more, I got witness to the fact that all I had to do was put my attention on that person or that event or that result, and somehow it would work its way out to manifesting. To me, that was brilliant. Perfect. I hadn't quite at that point in my life worked out that, whoa, wait a minute here, I could do this with everything. I did eventually, but right at that point, no. It was just a little wake-up call, a little shift. And we fast forward and I learned to do it intentionally. Astral project, if you will, creative visualization, all of those things. And what I realized is that I had been doing this all along. Thinking of a trip, planning it, thinking of what I was going to wear on an outfit, getting it, seeing something, a car, a vehicle, a house, a home. And then I began to think about all the great, amazing, wonderful, abundant things I was manifesting and making happen, and linking it to the place in time prior to that I first had the notion of doing it. So for this video today, I want you to think about the perfect events that happened as a result of you just having a concept and saying it'll be okay, it'll be fine, and everything working out perfectly even when you weren't expecting it to. That's the issue where it comes to chasing perfection. It's about not comparing yourself, but being inspired by others. Learning to know that the power is harnessed inside of you, has always been there, and that you've got the ability to get what you want just by being specific. And then the other part to it is let that go and see it happen. That's the challenge we have. There's a part of all of folks, I think, that can't quite grasp the fact that whatever you put all of your energy to gets your attention. Because the attention usually goes to when it hasn't happened, when we didn't get it, when we saw things as not being perfect, when we saw people as not being perfect, when we said we're not perfect, when we went after things thinking we were going to be perfect. And it shows up in various areas of life, in the aging process. The idea that somebody who has reached a certain age decides that cosmetically, usually the face, isn't perfect. So we start looking at images of others who we believe are perfect. Well, that's that person's nose. That's that person's chin. That's that person's teeth. That's their face structure. That's their eyes, their eyebrows. But it doesn't stop folks from saying, I want to feel better about myself. And I'm not, certainly, let me stop right there. I'm not suggesting any way, shape or form people don't do it, because there's a reason. Let's just do it. If it's like, okay, well, why not? If whatever we go to do lifts us, makes us feel great, gives that euphoria, like, look what I did, I've done it, And I felt great about it. Never felt indifferent about it. Didn't think that I was doing something untoward in it. It did improve what I felt like it would. It did enhance something I had been a little bit concerned about. But I think that's perfectly okay. What is a little challenging is when I know myself that I've said I wanted to be a certain size. I wanted to be look a certain way. I wanted to have a certain image of myself because I believed in my head that was what would get me something. Usually it was a relationship. Felt like people weren't interested in me because of this long laundry list of descriptions that were not positive. So all that to say, I am perfection unfolding. It's there. It always has been. I just have to remember where it lives, how to harness it, and keep doing more of that. And that's all, everybody. If we say to ourselves, I'm perfect, but we don't believe it, then the perfect answer is, why? Vulnerability is also perfect because being vulnerable leads to having courage. Nervousness is perfect because if you're not nervous, you're not really present and on the A game. And I'm saying you, I mean in general. And all of that is about the journey into power. I often wondered, well, why does Byron Baptiste call his yoga practice or his yoga methodology journey into power? Well, that's really what it is. It's a journey. We've already got the power. We've already had it. Somehow we didn't. Somehow it went away. Somehow we believed something else. I look at babies. Instinctively, they know who their mum and their dad is. That's power. And the parents, instinctively, they know when the baby wants to be rocked, nurtured, changed, or fed. That's intuitive. That's power. That's going on whether they're aware of it or not. It's just this inner power we've already got, we've already had. And then there's the idea that what we want, what is it based on? Would it make things better if you had what you wanted? Because you've got everything you need. And then that leads down a bumpy road. Sometimes the things that are wanted are not necessarily needed, but we want them anyway. Well, what's that really about? Again, is it about what's missing? Is it about what's not in our kit bag, if you will? I like that idea, that life comes with a kit bag and you fill up your kit bag for whatever you need. Just something to ponder for you. Just a little inspirational piece that says we are perfection unfolding. You've got the perfection going on. You've just got to unfold it and let it go and use it when you need to use it and gather more. So let's pull some cards and see what happens with these. I did adjust the camera a little bit this morning so it got a closer view of the cards that I shuffled and pulled. Move that out of the way a little bit. Here we go. Let's just go in. Thank you, angels, for revealing to me what I need to know, what I need to share. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the message that you brought. Show me, bring me, give me a card that I can use and work with. Let me use my right hand, spread them out. There we go. Just pooed one. Boom. Get right to it. This came in the reverse, which just means I don't see things backwards, upside down, and back. So we'll just turn it this way. Power and intention. Well, isn't that what we've just been talking about? This is a picture of what to me looks like a wizard sitting with a torch in the left hand. And it's somewhat angelic, has a collar of feathers, so possibly an angel, working with some violet flame. I can see the crown of the head going into the stellar gateway right up over here. The violet flame is fueling the internal power, waiting for it to be released. It's looking like to me as if they were a magician. So I would say this message for today is to look at yourself as perfection unfolding and harness the power you have within you to do better, to be better, to look inward, to attain what you're looking to attain outward. It feels to me as if the culture that we live in now are going in so many different directions and so confusing. We can be held back by wondering, worrying, concentrating on something that really we honestly can't change. There's a new dimensional energy emerging, the fifth dimensional energy, the energy of harmony, the energy of love, the energy of peace, coming up underneath the masculine deconstruction that's going on of control, of the monetary systems, of the governmental systems, of the systems in general. Folks are learning to communicate better, differently. I've watched myself a little quickly how even a month ago, as things began to ease up on restrictions and control, people were quickly clamoring to get out. And there was a little bit of anger. There's still a bit of that out there. A little bit of annoyance, a little bit of frustration, a little bit of people with impatience. But in the last week or so, I began to see a bit more kindness, a bit more upbeatness. People's attitudes is a tiny bit softer, and that happened rather quickly. It's good to see. All right. Let's read from Melody Beatty's journey into oops, there we go. Here we are. Journey to the heart, and see what today brings. Enjoy summer. Learn to enjoy summer, that wonderful warm time when everything is in full bloom. Summer isn't forever, but don't ruin it by fussing. Forget about the winter just past, the autumn that lies ahead. Immerse yourself in the good times, the fullness of the summertime. We have gotten so used to other times, the colder times, that we've forgotten how to enjoy the sun, the warmth, the playtimes, the good times. Each moment of our lives is important. Each moment of our lives is a spiritual experience. To live fully in joy, we need to learn to enjoy the good times as well as weather the storms. Most of us are proficient at hunkering down and getting through the winters of our lives. Now it's time to learn something different. Take off your heavy wrap, grab your straw hat, and go bask in the sun. Tomorrow's lessons will take care of themselves. Today, the lesson is learning to enjoy the summer. Not quite as succinct with the element of perfection unfolding, power and intention, but still, I think quite a lovely message. So let us do a little meditation. Close your eyes, bring your feet to the floor, allow your palms to face up and take a breath in. Let your breath go. Find a state and a place in your mind and your being for gratitude. What are you grateful for? What makes you happy? Could be a person, a place, a situation. Let your mind and your thoughts settle. Just settle enough to where you can be in this space of bliss, relaxing, going deeper. Give your body a scan, an overview. Begin from the feet. Bring your head to the tops of your feet, the inner arches, the outer blades, the center of both heels. The gratitude you feel for how your feet carry you. Hold you up. Connect to the earth. And travel with your mind, your consciousness, and your intention up your body into your knees and your thighs. Inner outer thighs. Your glutes, your butt, your hips, your pelvis, your genital area, tailbone, your lumbar spine, your belly. Move through your organs up into your rib cage. Pause briefly at your heart chakra, that area in the center of your chest. See an opening, great, beautiful golden light shining from you out into the universe, making you part of this vast space. Lift your mind and your attention through your chest and collarbone down both arms. Through the elbow joints of your right and left arm into your wrists. Focus on your palms, your thumbs, and every single one of your fingers. Bring light into these areas of your body. Rise up into your chin and your cheeks and your nose and eyes, your ears, your nasal cavity, back of your neck, sides of your head, your forehead. Open up your third eye. Imagine this wide window with no pane of glass, giving you the perfect vision of what your angels and your archangels, source energy, wants you to know. Take your mind and your consciousness to the crown of your head. Open the crown of your head and imagine that light coming from your heart through your third eye, as if it were a spotlight shining up through your soul star, through the stellar gateway, and connecting with source energy, God's energy. And thank you, source energy, for wrapping me in your light of protection, for charging me up with your light of protection, for recharging my spiritual energy and lifting my vibration. If you're comfortable, you say a prayer to God. Thank you, God, for renewing, the light, for connecting me with your light, for recharging my physical, mental, spiritual body with your light. I radiate with the light of heaven and let it shine throughout my being. And so it is, and thank you. Just allow yourself to bask and bathe in this feeling of lightness, and this feeling of joy, and this feeling of liftedness. Your to-do list, tasks of the day, dormant conversations will rise. See them, acknowledge them, and release them. Come back to your hands and your feet and your breath. Gently allowing your third eye center your clairaudient gifts to be awake, in tune with universal messages. Listen for words, listen for phrases. Sitting quietly, relaxing in stillness. At this very moment, your angels, your spirit guides, and any ascended masters have gathered around you. Your deep state of relaxation, meditation, is your direct connection to your source energy. When you're ready, bring your hands to heart center. Keep the feeling the source energy coursing down through your body. And the connection with the angels that have gathered to assist you today and every day forward. Thank you, angels, for being here, for being around. Thank them for staying with you. Thank them for working with you. Lift your thumb knuckles to your third eye center, and together we bow and say Namaste. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back with another one soon. All right. Bye.